Right, here we are. I'm going to talk about alternative ventilation. So in the approved documents, they have a section there where we can ventilate by alternative means. What that means is you can use a system as long as it's proven, certified and tested, and it meets the requirements and will do the whole dwelling ventilation rate, which I've talked about previously. Then we can utilise that system. What we have at envirovent, we have what we call positive input ventilation. The certification on it is BBA, British Board of Agreement. This shows you the certification, all the requirements, how it meets the approved document F or the technical handbook, or technical legislation for Ireland, but it'll meet all those requirements as long as we follow the guidance in there and also the manufacturer's instructions. What PIV is positive input ventilation, so it works the opposite way to your extract fan. So I've mentioned before, with normal extract systems, we may have extract fans on the wall or a centralised unit extracting air to outside. When they're taking the air out, they create a slight negative pressure, they force air back in through natural leakage, or if you remember through the trickle vents, with the System 1 fans, you've got quite a lot of them, we're bringing that air back in, so it's coming in unfiltered and at the outside temperature. What we have with positive input ventilation, we have a unit here in the loft space that draws air in from the loft space into the property. In doing that, we're then replacing that air in the loft space with outside air. So you're ventilating your loft space a little bit, drawing that air in, filtering it, and then bringing it down into a centralised location in the property. Now it's important we bring it into a centralised location because the idea is then that will disperse and push that air around the rest of the property. A couple of other things, this is running continuously, it's fully automatic, so it runs all the time at a very low rate. There's no high extract rates, no real sort of boost rates or any requirements like that. It runs all the time at this low rate. Bringing the air in at ceiling level, we're recovering wasted energy at ceiling level because warm air rises. So when you've got your heating on down here, the warm air's rising, it goes up into the hallway, and then you're warming your ceiling up. You can have up to a 7-degree temperature difference between the ground floor here and the ceiling height there. We're recovering that, bringing it back down into the property. We're also diluting any humidity within the property. So if you start having a bath or shower, you increase the humidity level within that room, then in turn that can increase the humidity levels within the rest of the dwelling. Same as when we're cooking and things. What we're doing is pushing more air into that, so we're diluting it back down, reducing the humidity level again to a safe level. And then any other contaminants we create from aerosols or anything like that, use them on a regular basis, the hairspray and things, we're diluting that down and pushing it through the natural leakage in the property and pushing it to outside. So this continuous rate of fresh filtered air coming into the property, as it says there, we're delivering fresh filtered clean air at a continuous rate, diluting any contaminants and pushing them to outside. Really good way of ventilating the property. Fairly easy to install. I say fairly easy because there are things you've got to be aware of. You know, you need to ensure you've got enough air movement within the loft space. We do bring it in a centralised location. We need to be aware of other things as well, but we'll go into that at a later date. So we're bringing that air in, diluting it. Great way of ventilating, easy for a refurb. We do different units because appreciate somebody might live in a flat. If you're on a 10-storey block of flats, you know, not everybody has a loft space. We do what we call a positive input ventilation wall unit, which would mount on the wall and it brings the air in through a duct from outside. There are a few other benefits on this. The unit does have what we call a comfort heater on it. Now that heater is there just to temper the chill off the air. So in the winter time, if it's -2 outside, you know, you could have a 3-degree, 4-degree temperature difference in the loft space. It's always about 3 or 4 degrees warmer in the loft than it is outside. So we're warming that air up a little bit, and then this might temper it up to sort of 10 degrees just to take the chill off it, bring it in, recover another 7 degrees, push that around the rest of the property, mix it with the already warm air that might be at 20 degrees within the rooms. You know, you're getting a nice filtered, clean air into the property, and you also, you know, could save around 10% on your annual heating costs. Again, that's recognised by the BBA, also the Energy Saving Trust. You know, it's not just something we like to say, it is a proven fact, so it's a great way of ventilating a property. So that's it really, you know, we're bringing the air in from a centralised location. It's a simple system, really good for refurb, can be used with new build. We do have to be aware again of how airtight the property is when it's a new build, the size of the property, things like that. But for your general two, three bedroom property, it's a great system, especially if it's a refurb and you've done a lot of refurbishment with your double glazing, wall insulation things. So it's quite a simple way to ventilate. There are some other scenarios where you may need extract fans as well, continuous running ones, and they're what we call a remote wet room. So if you've got an ensuite where you have to go through the hallway, into the bedroom, then into another door to get to the ensuite, then it is required that a continuous running extract fan is fitted in there as well. If you don't put an extract fan in, you can have what we call an air transfer grill in the door, but it's easier and probably more beneficial just to put a continuous running extract fan, just to help complement the system. That's it really on the positive input ventilation unit. Hopefully you've got a little bit from it, and we'll see you again in the next video. Thank you.